Hi, this is Rajan Lishing Talent, and welcome back. Do you sometimes get stuck up between how to look at things, or do you sometimes just see things from a narrow perspective? You take certain decisions, and later on, you feel that that was not the right decision. If any of these is your situation, or you feel any of these could be your potential situation, or anyone else could be in such situations where decision making is becoming a little different, then this podcast could be helpful. How to get the right perspective was something going on in my mind, and this is something that people asked me as well. In your life, if you are struggling with any personal situation and you have to make a decision, so you have to look at it from two perspectives. Take a very detailed view by zooming in, right, and get a detail of what will be the impact, how will it work. And we call it a micro level analysis. And that happens in science. Science will go deeper into cells or DNA. And when they get inside the DNA, they are able to understand. It's something like we studied about chromosomes, and they are the carriers of traits and how traits determine personality. That's what Zoom In is all about. And that's science. But in our life, if we have to change ourselves, we have to zoom into ourselves. What are my behaviors? How do I come across to people? These are something that I can change. And if you do not do that, you will continue to be the same person. While you are growing, situations are changing for you, but you are not changing. And if you wish to do that, then you will have to take a micro view. Tomorrow, how would you respond to that situations? Another perspective is that if you kind of do a little bit of introspection, you will find that there are many great decisions that you have taken, and those great decisions were based on your ability to look into the details. And then you realize that, yeah, these are my data points. These are the details. This is how I can respond to these situations. So be it your personal life, where you have to work on your physique or your strength training or your career growth or your spiritual development or whatsoever. This is what I call leading self. So when it comes to leading self, if you do a little bit of zoom in to find out what are the top 3 areas that you would like to work, which will impact immediately your personality. On the other hand, zoom out, it is something like you are traveling in a plane and you're seeing things below. It looks very different, right? So any problem we have, we can look at it from two perspectives. One is zoom in to see the details at the micro level. You will get insights. And then zoom out to see it at a larger level. So for example, if you're taking a decision, if you look at micro level, you will feel that, yeah, I can take this decision. But then after 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, you realize that probably you could have taken a better decision. Usually that happens when you do not take a long-term view. It is like if I ask you to go to Google Map and look at your city, and if you zoom in, you should be able to find out your house or your flat or your building. And at the same time, if you zoom it out, you should be able to see the entire city. So the impact of anything has to be evaluated at a micro level and at a macro level. So for instance, when it comes to leading business, you are making business decisions. All right. Now, these decisions are short term or long term, or the combination of that. Zoom in would give you an immediate idea of what are the few things that you will fix. And that can also fix many things in the long term because you have taken the long term view as well. So you are making a business decision and you are taking care of what is needed now. But at the same time, you can see the impact of it in the future. So whether it is leading self or leading teams, for example, you are leading teams or you are working with teams. Today, it is not about leading team or being a manager of the team. It is about working with project teams, right? Or it is working with people. It's not about having authority to lead people to understand who they are, where they're from, what culture they belong to, what kind of backgrounds they have. So, taking that zoom in view to your team will give you a better understanding of your team. And when you have the better understanding of your team, you will be able to leverage the best of their talent. You are making an assessment of their talent and potential. If you are responsible for team, you are responsible for getting the best out of your team amid all the diversities. Next time, when you are evaluating a situation, take a dual approach. Zoom in to see the detail of it and zoom out to look at it from a higher level. Often in corporate, we'll say, I'm seeing it from 35,000 feet above. Be it leading self or teams or business or the organizations, it is always good to have a short-term view and a long-term view. So lead yourself with zoom in and zoom out philosophy. However, I should just warn you this as well. That zooming in does not mean you start doing micromanagement for yourself and for your team. It is just to get a perspective. And at the same time, zooming out, if you're too much zooming it out, then again you will have issues. But this method can be used to do the right analysis and to challenge your own gut feel and the decisions that you make in day-to-day business or personal life. So I hope this podcast was helpful to you. Thank you so much